Thank you, Angela. My name is Bailey Roseshaw, and today I'll be talking about the political environment of Australia. The government within Australia is known as a Commonwealth federal government. This government is similar to the United States government. It is built upon three different branches: the executive branch, legislative branch, and the judicial branch. Each of these branches work as a checks and balances system similar to the United States. The only difference between this government and the government of the United States is that there's a prime minister elected by the party within the government rather than an election by the people. This leads me to my first point, which would be rule of law. Rule of law is the extent to which the law will be able to help businesses. As we can see here, each of these numbers are brought from the Heritage Foundation organization. Rule of law is broken up into three different categories: property rights, government integrity, and judicial effectiveness. As we can see here, the three scores for each of these categories are much higher than the world average. This is very promising for Chick-fil-A. The higher score for property rights means that there is less government-owned land. Less government-owned land means that there's more land for the public, more land for the people, and more land for our business. Not only is there more land, but trademarks, different properties like that, whether it be recipes, copyrights, things like that, those are also protected by the government, and there is much more availability for them. The next category I'd like to talk about is government integrity. The high score for government integrity means that there's a lot less government corruption compared to the world average. This means that the government is much more reliable. So Chick-fil-A will be able to reach out to the government in unlawful situations, and the government will likely be able to help. The next category I'd like to talk about is judicial effectiveness. The higher score for judicial effectiveness means that there's a stronger judiciary. A stronger judiciary means that there's more support for these unlawful situations. The judicial branch will be able to step in, whether it be theft of trademarks, theft of recipes, or theft of other physical property. This leads me to my next point: regulatory efficiency. Regulatory efficiency is basically the efficiency of business ownership and the availability to own a business. This is also broken down into three categories, much like rule of law: business freedom, labor freedom, and monetary freedom. For the first category, we can see that the score is much higher than the world average. This means that there's easier business operation. This easier business operation basically means that there's less hoops to jump through, less regulations, and more opportunity for the business to operate how they would like to do so. For the second category, labor freedom also has a much higher score. As we can see here, we're seeing a very continuous trend. This higher score means that there's a healthy labor environment. A healthy labor environment means that the hiring and firing process will be efficient for the business. Not only will these two processes be very efficient for the business, but it is known that the labor market in Australia is known to be very supportive. And finally, for monetary freedom, this higher score means that there is greater price stability. Greater price stability is very important for Chick-fil-A. Greater price stability means that Chick-fil-A will be able to change their prices up and down freely without too much government intervention. And on top of that, there is a lot slighter chance that the prices will have to move on them. And this makes it a lot more stable for Chick-fil-A to operate in this Australian environment. Next, I'll be handing the mic over to Alyssa, and she'll be talking about business environments. Thanks.